The time is 7:42. I will call this regular session meeting and public hearing of the mayor and council to order. Today is October 27, 2014. All members of the mayor and council are present. First tonight, for invocation, I'm going to take a personal privilege. My husband, as many of you knew, grew up in foster care, and the closest father figure he had was taken to hospice today. So I'm going to ask that hormones, pregnancy, that you keep my husband and Matthew Roper in your thoughts and prayers. Thank you. Now for the announcements. Tomorrow night we will have a planning commission meeting. They'll have a 7 p.m. work session and a 7:30 p.m. meeting. Is this the planning commission meeting that the development will be postponed to?
Excuse me?
Or was that a special one? Okay. November 7th, we'll have a blood drive here at City Hall at 1:30 p.m. to 6:30 p.m. in the community room. To learn more about blood donation opportunities, visit www.redcross.org or call 1-800-RED-CROSS. If you want to watch a rebroadcast of this council meeting, you can on November 9th on Comcast Channel 25 at 6:30 p.m. And our next regular scheduled council meeting will be November 10th. We'll have a 6:30 p.m. work session, a 7:30 p.m. meeting. That will be our only regular meeting for the month of November. Our November 11th Board of Appeals meeting has been canceled. Our Art Commission has some events coming up. If you'd like to audition for the Christmas Carol, there'll be auditions this Wednesday at 6:30 here at City Hall, and at Saturday at 10 a.m. here at City Hall. They've also, last Friday, they started our ghost tours for the month of October, and you still can come out and have a ghost tour. That's this Friday and Saturday. They meet here at City Hall, and it goes from 7 to 9 o'clock in the parking lot of City Hall. Okay. Now we have Mr. Grant, who's going to lead us in tonight's Pledge of the Flag. I'm a disabled veteran. If you come forward, Mr. Grant, lead us in the pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, we have the minutes. Do I have a motion on the minutes for the August 25th, 2014 meeting?
Yes, Mayor. I'll make these motions one at a time here on the minutes. A motion to approve the work session and regular business and public hearing of the mayor and council for Monday, August the 25th.
There is a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Second, motion by Councilman Bender, second by Councilman Emanuel. All those in favor signify by raising your right hand. That's, 6 in favor, 0 opposed. Those minutes stand approved. Do we have a motion on the minutes for September 8th, 2014?
Yes, a motion, I move to approve the work session and the regular business and public hearing of the mayor and council for September the 8th.
There is a motion by Councilman Bender. Is there a second? Second by Councilman Emanuel. All those in favor signify by raising your right hand. 6 in favor. All those opposed, 0 opposed. The minutes stand approved. Is there a motion for the minutes from September 10th, 2014 special called meeting?
I move that we postpone the minutes of the September 10th specially called meeting.
There is a motion by Councilwoman Bender. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Councilman Emanuel. All those in favor signify by raising your right hand. That's 5 in favor. Those opposed, 1 opposed. The minutes are postponed until the next agenda. Do we have a motion on the September 22nd, 2014 regular meeting minutes?
I move that we approve the work session and regular business and public hearing minutes for the mayor and council for September the 22nd.
There's a motion by Councilman Bender. Is there a second? Second by Councilman Emanuel. All those in favor signify by raising your right hand. 6 in favor. All those opposed, 0 opposed, the minutes stand approved. Ms. Bender, is your motion going to be the same for the next 3?
Yes.
So can I do that as a consent item for approval of the October 1st, October 7th, and October 1st and 7th special called meeting, October 13th regular work session and business meeting? Okay. Can I do a consent to the October 1st and October 7th special called meeting? No objection, then they'll be approved.
I mean, is that the way that works? You can do that without having to move it to the consent agenda?
Okay, those minutes are approved, and then do I have a motion for October 13th, 2014 regular meeting?
Barbara, were you good with that? I mean,
Yeah, I'm fine if that was fine the way we did it.
Get minutes to answer the question.
No, Bobby was going back to that one. Okay. I move that we approve the work session and regular business and public hearing minutes of the mayor and council for October 13th, 2014.
Okay, there is a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Councilman Emmanuel. All those in favor signify by raising your right hand. That's 5 in favor. All those opposed, 0 opposed, and 1 abstention, which under the City of Snellville Charter is a vote in favor. Okay, we have no invited guests tonight. Now for our committee department reports. Ms. Ferris, do you have a report for us from the Board of Appeals?
Marcy Ferris, 1749 Ridgedale Drive. Mayor and council, we had no meeting in October. And
Fair
we will
enough
have no
report.
meeting in November. So thank you for the holiday.
Thank you, Ms. Ferris. Ms. McAloon, a report from staff.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. Well, this past Saturday, we enjoyed our 5th annual Fall Festival on the Green. The event was very successful due to the many volunteers who gave of their time. Many thanks to Trish Rollins, Susan Chapelier, Kathy Emanuel, David Emanuel, Marilyn Sweeney, Kirk Bice, Marcy Ferris, Alice Snipes, Regina Hart, Gretchen and Kurt Schultz, Michelle and John McAloon, Bobby Howard, Tom Witz, Tim Van Valkenburg, Joe Wilson, and all the other volunteers and the students from the South Gwinnett High School, NHS, and Beta Service Clubs that really helped make this event run so smoothly. The students were really absolutely amazing. They were self-motivated and really worked without much guidance from us throughout the day. You make us proud, South Gwinnett High School students, and we're hoping we can recognize them at a meeting maybe next month, because they were superb. They were excellent. Okay, good. Thank you so much. Okay. Many people throughout the day complimented on how organized the event was and how nice the students were, so that's always nice to hear that your local community and your local high school students are very respectful to everybody coming in, and that was very recognized by all. Many thanks to the Arts Commission members for helping paint the pumpkins that decorated the tables. And again, thanks to all who made the event so special. Thank you again to our Public Works Department for preparing the city. They do a lot of work in preparation to all our events with the barricades and barrels and the receptacles for waste and recyclables. And we want to thank, of course, Snellville's finest police department for keeping us safe throughout the day. Our second annual Scarecrow Contest was a big success again this year. We had about 20 scarecrows enter. A lot of people had a lot of fun. We did online voting. Our third place scarecrow winner was the Community Bank with scarecrows Anita Goodlone and Bad Debt Buck. Second place winner was Gwinnett Animal Hospital with Dr. Strawpaws. And our first place winner was Snellville United Methodist Church Youth Choir with Olaf. Many thanks to all who participated. We won't know exactly what we're going to donate to the the Gwinnett Southeast Community Bank yet. It depends on if they give their donations back, as the people did last year. So we'll report on that next month to give the final dollars donated. Big thanks to Olivia Taylor, who won the pie baking contest with her Southern Cast Iron Apple Pie, and Kay Helwig, who won the cake baking contest with her banana cake. Great day was had by all. Following the festival was our last concert of the season that featured Banks & Shane, that was presented by About Face Skincare. And we do want to acknowledge and give our deepest sympathies to the Burgess family. Banks Burgess, who is the member, him and Shane, who have Banks & Shane, his son was tragically killed a couple weeks ago on the accident at 400. So please keep them in your prayers. We're gearing up for our 33rd annual Christmas tree lighting that will be held on November 29th from 5:30 to 9 p.m. We will have our first lighted Christmas parade that will start at Wisteria Plaza at 5:30. If you'd like to participate or need more information, you can visit www.snellvilletourism.com for any and all information. And Matt, raise your hand, Matt. He's heading up our Christmas parade. So if you have questions, see Matt. Our winter edition of the Spirit magazine will be out approximately around November 21st. And this Thursday evening, we invite everybody to join us at Summit Chase Country Club for our Halloween networking party that will be held from 5:30 to 8 p.m. Everybody's invited. You don't need to be a member, but we'd love you to become a member. But we have lots of fun. About 100 people show up. And that pretty much concludes my report. Any questions?
Thank you. Mr. Sanders, any report other than what you...
If possible, Mayor, I'd just like to say the same thing that I had in the work session, a slightly larger crowd here. Since he was hired last December, Brian Arrington has been a fixture at these meetings and community events and anything that was going on in Snellville. As our PIO, he was there. You may have noticed over the last couple of weeks you have not seen Brian. Brian has has contracted a malady that has kept him out of work for a couple of weeks. He's worked from home for a couple of days, but we hope that he'll be back next Friday, or this coming Friday, and he'll be back on the scene. Just in case you have any issues or any questions regarding Brian or his job, please call me. I'll try to take care of city information that he's not getting out right now, but he should be back on Friday. He is doing well. So I just wanted to let that be known publicly. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Sanders. We have no consent agenda. We have no old business. That brings us, actually, we do have old business. We have a public hearing. First under our public hearing is first reading of CUP 14-06. Do I have a motion to waive the first reading and place this on our November 10th agenda?
Madam Chair, you have a motion to waive first reading to the November 10th council meeting.
That's a motion by Councilman Kraus. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Councilman Howard. All those in favor signify by raising your right hand. That's 6 in favor. All those opposed, 0 opposed. That reading is waived. Brings us to item B. The second reading on CUP 14-05. This is a consideration action on application by So Group LLC for a conditional use permit for various automotive services related uses and request for variances from the zoning ordinance and buffer landscape and tree ordinances for .445 plus or minus acres on property that is zoned currently general business at 2326 Lenore Church Road in Snellville, and that is the former Gwinnett County Fire Station 12. Mr. Thompson.
Thank you, Mayor. Thank you, Council. As you can see, we have a request for a conditional use permit 14-05 at 2326 Lenora Church Road, Snellville. It's currently zoned BG, and the request is various automotive service and repair related uses at the vacant fire station, the intersection of 124 and Lenore Church. The current The property is currently surrounded by typical commercial uses found in the BG zoning district. The applicant has requested a number of variances too, due to his property sitting vacant and now becoming a non-conforming use. Most of the variances are small, some are setbacks, some different ones for landscaping and impervious surfaces. So go ahead and put the site plan down. The applicant at this time is proposing to add 10 new impervious parking spaces on the north portion of the property, to replant the trees as shown. And once again, he's asking that typical automotive type repair places be allowed to be used at this location. He's indicated that he's had a hard time filling his space with a tenant due to the fact that he doesn't have the conditional use permit on the front end, and the building, which once was an automotive repair building before the fire department occupied it, is suited for just that, and it's not a principal permitted use. Thus, he needs to have permission to be a little more flexible with current tenants. We recommend approval. We'd like to get the building back in commerce. The applicant has also agreed to repaint the building within 1 year of approval so that he can get some cash flow going and be able to bring the property a lot closer to code than it currently is. Answer any
Questions
questions.
for Mr. Thompson? Thank you, Mr. Thompson. Is the applicant present? Would you like to say anything?
My name is Johnny So, from So Group LLC, 3517 Amberley Trace, Gainesville, Georgia, 30507. I feel the privilege and an honor to be here, to be in front of mayor and council, to ask for the conditional use permit so that we can get this property back in commerce and rent it out so we can get productive business in Snellville. And Jason and John has been very gracious in working with us from the Planning and Zoning Department. And also Chief Whitehead has been looking after our building, and we feel privileged and honored that he was able to do that for us, and we appreciate your consideration in this application. And we do accept the conditions that the City of Snellville placed on this application. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. So. This is on for public hearing, so I will take any public comments either for or against this applicant. Anyone have any public comments, please come forward, state your name and address for the record. Seeing no one coming forward, I will close the public hearing portion of this meeting and open this up for a motion by council and debate.
If I may ask Jason one more question, or one question, I haven't answered one yet. Did I read here in one of the conditions, and now I just can't find it? We had gotten an email from an adjacent property owner about noise issues and things, and I thought I read in here that a fence was going to be required, or a fence would only be required if certain things happened.
He suggested, the adjacent property owner, that a fence be required because of some obnoxious noises that were there before. We basically felt like those issues can be handled better by the noise ordinance, and that there's a fence there, it's just not a large privacy fence. So and I don't think that as long as the applicant agrees to monitor his business and as well as code enforcement, that it's not required to put a fence in. So we didn't condition the property as such. If you feel like you could add a condition, but we didn't feel like it was required as long as it was handled through other ordinances.
Okay.
Additional questions for Jason?
Not one for Jason, but Mr. So, if I could. First of all, thank you for, trying to move forward and do some good stuff with your property there. Appreciate that. The painting part of it, I just want to encourage you sooner than later to put some paint on it, because I think a fresh coat of paint would probably do you more good getting attraction to
Right.
people looking at it than maybe some of the other stuff. So I would just encourage the painting thing. I know we've given you some leeway
Right.
for a year, but, I think when we try to sell something, especially if we try to sell a house or something, we want to try, fresh paint always does a really good job, so.
Right, right.
So just consider that, as you move forward.
Yes, we
Okay?
definitely will try
Great,
to
thank
get that
you.
sooner than later. Thank you.
Mr. Thompson, I had a question. Can you tell me how this is, and I don't mean to catch you off guard, so if you don't know, I apologize, how this is zoned in our future comprehensive plan? Was this part of a
No,
node?
It's not in the, it is in the corridor overlay, but the future land use, I think, shows it still for retail or maybe something like that. I don't know right
Okay.
off the top of my head.
All right, thank you again. I apologize to
No problem.
throw it to you. Do I have a motion by council?
I got it. Give me a sec. Madam Chair, a motion to approve CUP 14-05 with the conditions and variances recommended by Planning and Development and the Planning Commission.
There is a motion by Councilman Kraus. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Councilman Howard. Further discussion of council? Seeing none, all those in favor of the motion as stated signify by raising your right hand. That's 5 in favor. All those opposed, 1 opposed. The motion stands approved. That brings us then to item C, second reading, LUP 14-03, RZ 14-04. This is consideration and action on application by Linwood Development Group to amend the land use plan and official zoning map of the city of Snellville and request for certain variances from the RM district criteria for 361 mixed residential unit development on 45.14 acre site located near New Hampton Drive and Tree Lane in Snellville, Georgia. Jason, you want to give us a update on what's going on with this?
Yes, ma'am, thank you. Basically, Linwood Development Group has submitted an application to their original application, an amendment to their original application that consists of 92 single-family detached homes on 22 acres of the 45-acre total site. We feel like with a substantial change of that sort, it needs to be remanded back to the Planning Commission for their approval or comment and recommendation, and then to be heard once again by Mayor and Council. And we've called a specially called meeting for the Planning Commission to address that on November 6th. We ask that you remand it back to the Planning Commission for that specially called meeting and that you postpone the hearing tonight until November 10th for your regularly scheduled meeting in November.
Questions for Mr. Thompson? I have one. The resubmittal, is that for the total 45 acres or is it only for a portion of that?
No, the portion not including the 92 square single-family homes would be left the same zoning and land use and would basically require mayor and council approval at any point forward if there any development were to take place, because the site plan would be altered to a point where it would require approval.
Okay. So the current CRCC would, because of the site plan differences, would come back in front of us?
Right, if and when that happens, it would have to come back before mayor and council, but it
Okay.
will remain unchanged.
Do I need to take public comment? Do I have a motion by council to remand this to the November 6th special called Planning Commission meeting and postpone our second reading until November 10th?
Motion to remand to the November 6th meeting and then to come back in front of mayor and council on November 10th.
There is a motion by Councilman Emmanuel. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Councilman Witz. Any further discussion? All those in favor of the motion signify by raising your right hand. That's 6 in favor. All those opposed, 0 opposed. The motion stands approved. That brings us then for new business. We have consideration action on award of bid for construction services for the Snellville Senior Center cast stone repairs and authorize the mayor to execute the contract. Actually, do I have a motion before we get into new business to amend our agenda? A motion to amend the agenda to add item E, which will be consideration action on certification of the ARC grant application.
So moved.
There's a motion by Councilmember Witz. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Councilmember Emmanuel. All those in favor signify by raising your right hand. That's 6 in favor. All those opposed, 0 opposed. So the item is added as E. New business, we come to the senior center. Do I have a motion?
I'd like to make a motion to award the bid of construction services for Snellville Senior Center cast stone repairs and authorize the mayor to execute the contract.
Is that, for clarification, Councilman Howard, is that to a certain bid, not to exceed a certain price?
Mr. Sanders, you got that price handy, 126. We'll come up with
I do. It's to J.J. Morley Incorporated, and the total price not to exceed $126,520, $126,520. $126,520.
Thank you. There's a motion by Councilman Howard. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Councilman Bender. Any further discussion of council?
Just real briefly, the senior center cast stone that encompasses the top of the building, we had a situation where a piece of it fell. And if you've been near the senior center, you see a area roped off in yellow caution tape. We're just going to repair it. I mean, it's beyond a warranty situation. We've gone back and forth. We're still trying to figure out if we have any options with the insurance company, but we just need to go ahead and make the repairs. That's really the bottom line to it. So,
Additional discussion of council? Seeing none, all those in favor of approval of the bid to J.J. Morley and authorize the mayor to execute the contract, signify by raising your right hand. That's 6 in favor. All those opposed, 0 opposed. The motion stands approved. Item B, council nomination and confirmation of the following board appointments: the Parks and Rec Advisory Board, Brittany Marmol and Susan Chapelier. Is there a motion of council?
I move that we appoint Brittany Marmol and Susan Chapelier to the Parks and Recs Board.
There is a motion by Councilman Witz. Is there a second?
second.
Second by Councilman Howard. Further discussion? I will not support this motion tonight. I previously put up Ms. Marmol for a mayor's nomination. Again, this is a legal issue that's still pending with the counterclaim that's been filed against myself by members of this council in my capacity as mayor, and changes that were made to the city charter that the mayor makes the nominations and council confirms, but the council changed the city charter some time ago that if there's a vacancy for more than 60 days, the council can make the nomination. Whether the council has the authority to change the charter without going through our General Assembly is an issue for debate. When I put up Ms. Marmol, council said that she had not been vetted by the Parks and Rec Board. There's not currently a quorum of the Parks and Rec Board for there to be a meeting for them to make an official recommendation. As for Ms. Chapelier, I believe she's an excellent volunteer, but as I stated in the past, I believe that we need to have new people involved in our city, and that we need to bring people that are interested in serving so that we have more ideas and more people involved. So I won't support her nomination tonight either. With that, I will call all those in favor.
One second.
Okay.
Mr. Powell, can you kind of expound on that a little bit, please?
I think the question is concerning the home rule amendment. And the home rule amendment was approved. It's become final. It allows council to put in place, after a 60-day vacancy without nomination, a nominee. It's really not a shift in power. The power is still the mayor's to make the appointment. It's just if it doesn't get made within a timely period, then the council can step up.
Mr. Powell, hold on, because you had to open the door, so I'm going to ask you a few questions. And so prior to my being mayor in 2011, you gave a written opinion to the mayor and council and then Mayor Oberholzer that the only way the charter could be amended was through an action of the General Assembly. Isn't that correct?
I did not do that.
You did not do that.
No.
You want me to take a recess so we can get the letter,
No,
Mr.
it's
Powell?
okay, it's okay. I can describe the distinction.
I understand the distinction, but did you say, in 2010, 2011, did you give an opinion that only the powers of the mayor can be changed through the General Assembly?
The change in the structure, the form of government is the limitation. It's not that the council has the whole home rule amendment provisions are designed so local government can control their own charter and make whatever changes they want to. There is a restriction on form of government changes, and that's where it gets refined, where you're talking about
I understand your argument,
specific
Mr. Powell.
powers
I'm
of
getting
mayor.
specifically to the letter you wrote, and that had to do with the council then changing the mayor's power to appoint the city clerk. And your opinion was that the council couldn't make it a mayor and council appointment because it was given to the mayor, right?
When it comes to the issue of the appointment of the city clerk, you are talking about a form power. When it comes to 60 days to make an appointment to a recreation group, you're talking about a different level of appointment process. And you're right about the opinion I gave. Obviously, there are other city attorneys who have served since then that disagreed with that opinion. It has always been something that we thought should go to the court for ultimate resolution of that form of government definition.
And that's currently pending in the counterclaim that you filed. You represent members of this council against myself in front of Judge Hamill.
I don't believe that this issue is pending in any counterclaim. The counterclaim was filed way before these were done and what's pending before.
No, sir. Do you want me to? I'm happy to get you a copy of the counterclaim, but I would suggest you go back and check it because you and I have actually had this discussion here from the bench before.
Right. And here's I could be, obviously I'm doing these from memory and didn't plan to make a statement on these tonight, but I believe it's early 2013 is the only counterclaim that's still pending. It's not what I call a counts 2 case, it's counts 1. These amendments that were really designed were after
Made in January of 2013, and then the counterclaim was filed in February of 2013.
If that's the case, it's something that, in terms of the power of but I don't believe this one has actually been pled into that counterclaim. I'll just be honest, because this one doesn't rise to the level of clerk appointments and that sort of thing. So
And so the way the charter's been rewritten is if the council declines to confirm a mayor's nomination for 60 days, the power to make a nomination reverts to the mayor. It's not the mayor's failure to act, it's the council's failure to confirm the nomination, because I've clearly made nominations for this position within 60 days.
I don't know those. I don't know the answers to all those.
Thank you,
I just
Mr.
know
Powell.
the legal issue.
Let me maybe shed some light on this. Basically, we have a Parks and Recs board that has not been able to meet for about 4 to 5 months. All the mayor had to do was get someone to volunteer for that committee, have them meet with the other members of that committee, have that committee go ahead and approve them, submit them to the mayor submit them to us, and we approve it. It's that simple. Ms. Marmole's problem was that she was never vetted by the committee. Now, there was not a form of a committee, but there were committee members and the head of Parks and Rec. All that we did was give the Parks and Rec person, Lisa, the authority to talk to the other members of the board and see if they approved the 2 applications that were submitted. There were only 2. They were Ms. Marmol, who was previously nominated by the mayor, had not been vetted, and Ms. Chapelier, who was the only other application that we had at that time. We have 3 openings on the board. It's time that board started meeting again. It's the same reason that we have the rule if it's over 60 days. The only reason that happens is because we've had boards that have had openings that are more than 60 days. All the mayor has to do is do what we've asked to do, get people, meet with the board, bring them to the board to tour, and nominate them, and we approve it. We have not denied any approval of Ms. Couch so that we can appoint someone else. That just hasn't happened. So the inference is completely incorrect and misleading. These 2 people have volunteered to be on a committee that has been vacant and unable to meet for 4 to 5 months. we have taken the action to make sure that group can meet now. And we waited the 60 days for the mayor to make her appointments.
Further discussion of council? Seeing none, all those in favor of the nomination signify by raising your right hand. That is, Mr. Witts, 5 in favor, all those opposed, that's 1 opposed, the nominations stand approved. C, consideration action on, do you have a resolution? Consideration action on resolution for supplemental leases for 52 Motorola portable radios and 51 Motorola mobile radios under the GMA direct leasing program. Do I have a motion to approve the purchase or the lease of these radios?
Madam Chair, you have a motion to approve the resolution and lease purchase of these radios. Would you like me to go into detail on them, or is that sufficient for City Clerk?
Do you, if you want to give us a not to exceed total, do you have that?
I do. The grand total is $406,644.84.
And that will be with GMA through their direct leasing program. There is a motion by Councilman Kraus. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Councilman Emmanuel. Any further discussion?
Yes. Maybe. Communication is obviously a top priority, especially for our police department, so I don't think I need to debate that issue. I'm not always in 100% agreement with what they're asking for, but I am in 100% agreement on asking for these radios. They're looking for 52 portable radios for the officers, 51 mobile Motorola radios for the cars. This money will come out of the SPLOST receipts, and it's going to come out in 4 different payments. The first payment will be principal only of $101,661.21, and then the year following, we'll have another payment with principal and interest, a third and fourth until they're paid for. The interest rate through GMA direct leasing program, I mean, we couldn't get better than 1.27.0%. It comes from SPLOST. It doesn't come from the city, from your tax money. They need it. I want them to have it, and I hope y'all are in agreement. I can't put it any plainer than that. We need communication. Thank you.
Further discussion?
I don't think there's any real debate about this. We have what I think is arguably the best police department in the state, and I think we need to give them every tool that they need in order to keep up that level of service that they provide to the city.
All those in favor of the motion signify by raising your right hand. 6 in favor, all those opposed, 0 opposed, the motion stands approved. That brings us to item D, consideration on an approval of 3030 Hampton Ridge Way contract. Do I have a motion?
Yes, I move that we approve the contract not to exceed $24,000. I don't have the figure in front of me. Do you have the figure, Mr. Powell?
$24,367.30.
$24,367.30, and awarded to Paul Davis Systems of Gwinnett County.
And it's a PDR of North Atlanta.
That's Paul Davis, yeah. Paul Davis Restoration, excuse me, they changed it.
There is a motion by Councilman Witts. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Councilman Emmanuel. Further discussion of council?
I think we ought to let them know what we're sending the money on.
This is a house on Hampton Ridge that's been abandoned for at least a couple of years. Am I right, Jason? 4 years? 3 or 4 years? And we have been authorized by the municipal court to do these repairs to stop the bleeding of that property. We will lien the property for this amount, and when that property is sold, of course, this lien will have to be satisfied. So we're just investing in the house to keep that neighborhood looking good. It happens to be right at the entrance of the neighborhood, so it's kind of an important important that we make it look right, and that's all we're doing.
Just another consideration is some safety issues, so we're not just doing this arbitrarily to make things look good. There are safety issues that need to be addressed.
I was like, what? That's fine. All those in favor of the motion signify by raising your right hand. That's 6 in favor. All those opposed, 0 opposed. The motion stands approved. That brings us to item E. Item E is, do I have a motion to approve, to certify the ARC grant application?
So moved.
There is a motion by Councilman Witz. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Councilman Howard. Any further discussion? This was something, we have a deadline approaching for a grant that Mr. Van Otten is working on, due November 10th before our next council meeting. And so we are just saying, yes, we want the grant. All those in favor signify by raising your right hand. That's 6 in favor. All those opposed, 0 opposed. The motion stands approved. That brings us to our council reports. Mr. Witz.
Good evening. Very short tonight. November 11th is Veterans Day. It's clearly approaching very soon. And this will be the first year that we have had our new Veterans Memorial. So it'll be the first year we'll be able to celebrate our Veterans Day at the memorial. We come a little late to the party, of course, because, you know, Lawrenceville has a big parade and a big to-do on Veterans Day, and the city of Atlanta does, and a lot of other cities do. So it'd be really difficult for us to do something during the day and get participation by the VFWs, American Legions, and the other veterans, because they're already committed from past years. So we thought we'd do something different. So what we're going to do is on November 11th in the evening at 7 o'clock, we're going to have a short program. The VFW, many of the veterans will be here. And what we're going to do is we're going to have a balloon launch. We have 14-inch LED lighted balloons. We hope to, we're going to sell them for $2 or3 a piece, just enough to cover cost. We're going to have a little tag on them that says, this was launched on Veterans Day, 2014 from the Snellville Veterans Memorial in Snellville, Pennsylvania, honoring a veteran, and they'll put their veteran's name in. Snellville, Georgia, what did I say, Pennsylvania? Reliving my youth. Snellville, Georgia, and that honoring the veteran, they'll have their name on the back side of it. It will ask whoever receives that balloon, whoever finds it, if they would, to go to Facebook and go to our Snellville Veterans Memorial page and tell us what the veteran's name was and where you found the balloon. We set off to Saturday night, and we watched them for a good half hour, 45 minutes. We can only imagine what 200 of them will look like. As I said Saturday night, I probably would not want to be at the call center of the Gwinnett County 911 that night, or at any of the cities with the UFO calls in that coming in last night. Probably I wouldn't want to be approaching Hartsville either on that night. But 200 balloons going up is going to be a pretty spectacular sight. We hope you all come out and participate in that. One other thing, last Friday night, I spent a great hour out here with the Arts Commission with their ghost tour. It was fun. Saw Mr. Bice's talent in a new light, and some of the other people. It was just fun, and it was entertaining. So I hope that you'll support them. I understand they had over 50 people their first night. They're going to publicize it even more. It's this Friday and Saturday again, from 7 to 9, and it's the best $2 you'll spend. I'm telling you, it's a good time for about an hour. 45 minutes to an hour. So please do that. Thank you all.
I want to echo what Tom Witt said about the ghost tour. It's really a misnomer because it's more of a ghost tour performance and history lesson, and it's really entertaining. My compliments to Mr. Bice and the rest of the commission for doing an outstanding job. Also want you to put on your calendar December 7th will be the second annual performance of A Christmas Carol, and that will be at Summit Chase. You can sign up for your tickets. Another production by the Snellville Arts Commission. They're doing great things in the city, and I just would like to encourage you to go to their webpage. You can keep updated on everything they're doing, and everything they've done so far has just been outstanding. Have a good night. Thanks for coming to the meeting.
Very short. The solicitation ordinance will be posted on the city's website. Please take a look at it, absorb it, and get back to me with any questions you might have. Thank you. Good night.
How's everybody doing?
Not good.
Oh, come on, really? Seriously? How's everybody doing out there, right? It's 8:30, guys. You should be jumping up and down. So, anyway, I hope y'all had a chance to shop some of some. Well, I'm not even sure I even want to hear it repeated. Yeah. Especially now. That's kind of like lunch the other day, Tom. Yeah, I just want to thank everybody for coming out to these things and being a part of our community. It's, as Kelly McAloon alluded to it, you know, we had a great group of students come over. And I tell you what, the more of those students show up, the happier I become. Because I'm usually here from start to finish. And the more people that are here at the finish, the larger those numbers are, the happier I think we all are. And it's just a good sign. It's just a good sign. But Kelly, thank you for all your work with that. And just, you know, continue to support our city and the things that we're doing. A lot of still good stuff going on out there. And just continue to think about Snellville and all the things that we got going on. So thank you all very much for the opportunity to serve, and y'all travel safe going home.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. My name is Gay Bruce. I live at 1710 Woodbury Run Drive in the city of Snellville. I come before you tonight because a well-respected citizen of the city of Snellville has come to me with concern about the trees in the town green. And I have a vested interest in that because as a Gwinnett County Master Gardener, I was asked to help oversee the planting of those trees. On the day when those trees were planted, it wasn't just a group of elementary school boys digging in the dirt. It wound up being a family project for those trees to get planted. There were many parents that didn't know how to plant a tree, that I should help teach them how to properly plant a tree. And it became a family project. And in talking to some of these families since that time, they drive by the town green and they watch the progress of their tree growing in the town green. Now this citizen in the city of Snellville that approached me was concerned because they said they had heard discussion of possible re-landscaping in the town green that might affect the trees. I come before you tonight and ask you if that is the case, that any landscaping that be done so that the trees will not be disturbed, because I think it's a good foundational planting, and I think there's a lot of heritage there that has already started with these young boys that had planted and their families that planted the trees. Thank you.
Ms. Bruce, after if you'll hang tight, I'll talk to you a little bit about that, because I know a lot of it.
Okay, thank you.
Mr. Weber? Anyone else with public comment? Come forward, state your name and address for the record.
Good evening, Mayor and the Council. I'm representing VIP Nelson Spa in Snellville. Originally, I'm come from California, but I'm here to do business. And the modern trend of nail and spa is very something that we need to move up, which is I know Snellville doesn't have the ordinance of the allow alcohol permit in the nail salon, which I'm here to propose and ask that you guys consider them something that we can do it in the future. Bring some of the photos that took about a week ago. Okay, only fast food, only restaurant with 50% serving food, and restaurant, gas station, or gallery permit to have the license for the alcohol. But something that in the future that I've asked that the council and the mayor consider that for the nail salon, which is the Michael Shopping Center. If you guys are aware of that, that's the oldest building in the probably in the city, and it's been vacant now. It's like over 4 years, and we took over 4,400 square foot and built a big mega, I call it mega super nail salon, which is we was proposed to spend $400,000 to build a project, but now it went beyond the $600,000 plus. It's still building, and I made a few calls around the assisting city, Duluth, Littleburn, Suwanee, Kenya, Sandy Spring, Buckhead, Atlanta, Brazelton, Athens, and Peachtree. All those cities have alcohol permit for salons and some other the businesses similar like that. There's another long list, but they haven't responded, and plus I don't have the time to call all of them. But these cities nearby us have it, and I see no reason for our business here in Snellville to have that kind of permit, because I believe the taxpayers stay in the city, spend the money, bring revenue to the city instead of go by the nearby city and spend the money. And I believe this is going to increase the revenue to our city also. And just ask the mayor and the council consider this the future ordinance for our business, something that to help us, give it the tool to increase the business and increase the growth, not just for us, but for the city also. And thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Before you go, I need your name and address for the record.
Oh, my name is Ricky Fan.
Spell your last name.
Fan, P-H-A-N, P like Paul.
Okay, and your address?
It's home address or business.
Home address.
Home address is 2458 Swan Lake Drive, Grayson, Georgia.
Okay.
And I have a few other pictures if you guys have time to look at. This is something I talked to Jason back in April, but Jason said that currently there doesn't, this kind of permit does not allow. So I'm patiently waiting until this day. Our business is projected to be open November 1st. We was going to open last Saturday, but because the project is so big that we run behind on schedule, and we still building it. We try our best to open this November 1st, and within time that I hope the city will consider to give us the permit for the alcohol. We just serve cocktail juice, actually, with just a little bit alcohol in there, just the taste of for the clients go in there, relax with the luxury, the environment that all the ladies and gentlemen who experience the spa and manicure, pedicures and stuff, they know what I'm talking about. This is the future for the nails business. That's why I'm here to ask that the city council and the mayor consider this. And thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Fawn. Welcome to Snellville, and good luck to you. This isn't something that we would have the authority to do before November 1st, but if there's an interest in council, they can place it on our work session. We'd have to amend our ordinances, though.
Thank you. I understand that. That's why I wait, hopefully, as soon as possible. But at the meantime, we're just serving juice cocktail only until we get the permit. For real.
We appreciate that. Thank you, sir.
That's a good plan. Chief Whitehead, you heard that, right? Okay, we're good.
Thank you.
All right, the time is 8:35. If there's nothing else, we are adjourned. Have a good evening.